Listen up, Bills Mafia. We just witnessed something absolutely incredible, and we need to talk about it right now because this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Josh Allen and our Buffalo Bills just took down the Kansas City Chiefs 28-21 in what can only be described as a statement game for the ages. And let me tell you, this wasn't just any victory. This was the kind of performance that makes you believe we're finally ready to break through and get that championship we've been chasing for so long. Let's start with the main event. Our franchise quarterback Josh Allen, who just put on an absolute clinic against the so-called best team in the NFL. The man completed 23 of 26 passes for 273 yards with 1 touchdown and 0 picks, recording the highest pass completion rate of his entire career at 88.5%. Do you understand what that means? Our guy, the one we've watched grow from a raw prospect into an absolute superstar, just posted career best accuracy numbers against the reigning Super Bowl champions in a primetime showdown that the entire football world was watching. This is the Josh Allen we've always known he could be. The one who combines that rocket arm with the kind of precision and decision-making that wins championships. And he did it on the biggest stage possible. But wait, there's more. And this is where it gets even better. Allen didn't just light it up through the air. He also made NFL history by punching in 2 rushing touchdowns, using those tree trunks he calls legs to bulldoze his way into the end zone not once but twice. This is the dual threat nightmare that keeps defensive coordinators up at night. The player who can beat you with his arm, beat you with his legs, and most importantly, beat you when it matters most. We're talking about a reigning MVP who just keeps adding new dimensions to his game. And that's exactly the kind of evolution we need to see from our leader if we're going to finally break through and win it all this year. Now let's talk about what happened on the other side of the ball, because this is where the narrative really starts to shift in our favor. Patrick Mahomes, the golden boy, the guy who's been our kryptonite for years, just had the worst completion percentage of any game in his entire career at 44.1%, going 15 of 34 for 250 yards with no touchdowns and 1 interception. Read that again, Bills Mafia, 0 touchdowns and an interception. This is the same quarterback who's haunted our dreams with miraculous playoff comebacks. The same guy who always seemed to have some magic trick up his sleeve when facing Buffalo. And we just held him to his worst performance ever. Our defense stepped up when it mattered. We rattled him, we confused him, we made him uncomfortable all night long. And that's the kind of dominant performance we need to replicate if we want to see. These teams meet again in January, but here's where it gets really interesting and shows you just how much respect Josh Allen has for his rival, even after putting up those monster numbers and leading us to victory. With just 22 seconds left in the game, after we missed a field goal that would have iced it, the Chiefs got the ball at their own 42-yard line with no timeouts. A reporter asked Allen if he took a breath during those final seconds, and you know what our guy said? No, you never know with Pat. That's the mentality of a champion right there. Never getting comfortable. Always respecting your opponent. Understanding that the game isn't over until that clock hits triple zeros. And Bills Mafia, you could absolutely relate to that feeling, couldn't you? The entire fan base was right there with Josh, holding their breath, remembering all those heartbreaking moments from the past when Mahomes pulled off the impossible. One fan on social media perfectly summed it up saying all of us, and another confirmed, can confirm no breaths taken here either. We've been scarred by this rivalry. We've watched Mahomes lead 23 game-winning drives in the regular season and 7 more in the postseason, with 3 of those coming directly against us. That's the kind of history that sticks with you, that makes you nervous even when you're up a touchdown with barely any time left on the clock. But here's the beautiful thing that should have every member of Bills Mafia absolutely fired up right now. That Chiefs magic that's tormented us for years, it's starting to fade. Last season, Kansas City set an NFL single-season record with 11 wins in one-score games. They were the kings of pulling games out at the last second. But this year, they're 0-4 in one-score games after losing to us. The tide is turning, the dynasty is showing cracks, and we're the team that's positioned perfectly to take advantage of this moment and seize our opportunity. Think about what this means for the bigger picture. We just beat the Chiefs, the team that's owned the AFC for the better part of a decade, and we did it convincingly despite what the final score might suggest. Josh Allen outplayed Patrick Mahomes by a country mile. Our offense looked unstoppable. Our defense made critical stops when we needed them most, and we showed the kind of poise and execution that championship teams display. This isn't just another regular season win. This is a statement that the Buffalo Bills are ready to compete with and beat the best team in football. The best part? Mahomes himself is demanding changes from his team after this loss, which tells you everything you need to know about how much this result shook them. When the guy who's been Mr. Clutch for his entire career starts calling for adjustments and changes after facing your team, that means you've gotten inside their heads. You've made them question themselves. You've planted that seed of doubt that can grow into something much bigger come playoff time. Meanwhile, our quarterback, our leader, our MVP, he can finally take that breath he was holding during those final 22 seconds. But more importantly, Bills Mafia can start believing that this is finally our year, that we've turned the corner on this rivalry, that Josh Allen has officially arrived as the best quarterback in the AFC and possibly the entire NFL. The way he picked apart that Chiefs defense with surgical precision, the way he used his legs to punish them in the red zone, the way he stayed calm and composed even when the game got tight, that's championship quarterback play right there. We've been patient, we've been loyal, we've suffered through the heartbreak of 13 seconds and those devastating playoff losses. But all of that pain and frustration is building towards something special. This team feels different. Josh Allen looks different. The energy around one Bills drive is electric. And we just proved we can beat Kansas City when both teams are healthy and playing their best football. No excuses, no asterisks, just a straight-up win against the defending champions. The schedule ahead looks favorable. Our roster is loaded with talent on both sides of the ball. We've got an MVP quarterback playing at the peak of his powers. And most importantly, we've got the best fan base in all of sports behind us every single step of the way. Bills Mafia, this is what we've been waiting for. This is the moment where everything starts to come together, where years of building and developing finally pay off with that championship parade down Delaware Avenue. Josh Allen's admission about Patrick Mahomes shows the respect between two elite competitors. But make no mistake, the balance of power in this rivalry is shifting toward Buffalo. We're not the team that's intimidated anymore. We're not the underdog hoping for a miracle. We're the squad that goes into Arrowhead Stadium or hosts them at Highmark and expects to win because we know we have the better team, the better quarterback, and the better culture. That confidence, built on the back of performances like Sunday's masterpiece, is what's going to carry us all the way. So Bills Mafia, get loud, stay ready, and keep believing, because this team is special, and this season is shaping up to be one for the history books. Josh Allen just showed the entire league that he's the best quarterback in football when it matters most, and that's exactly the kind of performance we need to see replicated week after week as we march toward that ultimate goal. The Chiefs' dynasty is crumbling, their late-game magic has disappeared, and we're the team positioned perfectly to take their crown and bring a championship home to Western New York where it belongs. Let's go, Buffalo! The time is now, and nothing is going to stop this freight train from reaching its destination. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the like if you're as fired up as I am about this incredible victory. Now here's my question for you, Bills Mafia. After watching Josh Allen's dominant performance against the Chiefs, do you think the Bills are finally ready to win the Super Bowl this year? Drop your answer in the comments. A, absolutely this is our year. Or B, we need to see more before crowning them.